we're just going to talk today. So, everything you say kind of stays in here, as long as I don't feel like you're like a harm to yourself or others. So, go ahead and tell me how school's going.
School's really good. I've been getting into hobbies and making a lot of new friends and finding out who my real friends are.
That is awesome to hear. That is hard when you're in high school because everyone's kind of growing up. It's different from middle school because you break off into like kind of different, I don't want to say cliques, but different groups. Like some people, have the different classes and you all do pathways. So, yeah, I think that's really important. So, what is like a day to day for you? Like, how does school run?
Well, I wake up, I get to school really early because I like to go in early, and then I'll sit down and talk to my friends in the lunchroom, and then I'll go through all my classes, and then I'll go home and take a nap.
Well, naps are good.
Yeah.
We love self care. So talk to me about your pathway.
I'm in FFA and we just help with animals. We have a sick cow right now, and we've been having to take care of that and make sure that it's okay. And we'll do that with all the animals. We've got a bunch of animals.
That's horrible. So when you say sick cow, like do you all know what's wrong with it? Kind of how to treat it, or
We think it has pneumonia. It got too cold being up on the hill, and so we just gave it some electrolytes and some medicines. Then we put it in the greenhouse, made sure it got warm, and it's doing a lot better.
that's good. So you talked about your friends. Do you have a lot of friends in that pathway with you?
Yeah, most of my friends came from there actually. Um, More of my friends that I have now are from there besides the ones I had before.
Okay. So we've been off for like 2 weeks. Snow's been crazy. How do you feel going back? Like stressed, excited?
Well, I don't want to just because I don't like the work, but it doesn't really bother me. Like, there's nothing I really have to stress about besides the work, and that'll be fun. I could get caught up with that.
Okay, so talking about the work, we're on NTI day 9. How much have you gotten finished?
Not a lot of it. I did most up until like day 5, and then I kind of slacked off. But I think it would be easy to catch up just because where it's all online, I can do it all at once.
Right. Okay. I do think it's important that we set goals to kind of, so it, I know you like doing things all at once, but just so you don't get on stress overload because they're piling it on, it's been NTI back to back to back. Try to go back in and maybe do one, take a break, and then continue so you're not so overwhelmed with it. So, um, you're good with your days off. But you're not stressed going back, so that's good, right? Sports, you do archery. How's that going?
Really good. I'm actually going to practice tonight for a 3D tournament that I have coming up this week.
3D tournament.
Mhm.
What does that mean?
We shoot actual animals instead of just targets. Not living animals.
Right, not living animals. Okay, I didn't know that you did that. That's really cool. So is that like harder than targets or easier?
Yeah.
It is harder.
So there's like 5 different animals, and you have to move through the level with each one. And you only get one practice round, and you have to figure out where to aim on each of the animals, and it's all different. So we have like a turkey all the way up to like a deer and a bigger animal.
Well, that is really neat. So when you're going into these competitions, obviously you're practicing, you're getting prepared. Day of stress, how do you feel going into a competition?
I get really bad nervous, like to the point where I could throw up. It's really bad.
Okay, well, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
What are some ways that maybe we could help with that?
Well, just being around the people who I love helps a lot because I just get to talk to them and not really have to worry about it.
Right.
And then after I start shooting, I'm realizing that I'm not doing as bad as I thought I was, and it makes me feel better because I'm not as worried about my performance.
Right. So you're kind of a perfectionist, right? So, kind of stressed when things don't go absolutely perfect. And I get that. So just be easy on yourself because you're only a what? You're only freshman,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, you got lots of years to grow and just keep practicing. Obviously, the more practice you do, the more competitions you do, that throw uppy feeling will kind of ease
Yeah.
off some. Deep breathing techniques will help that too. Um, and like you said, you have a lot of support, which is really awesome. Just keep kind of doing what you're doing. Go to your friends, talk about it. Um, I think you're doing great. As far as kind of, we are in the freshman world here, but time moves very fast. Future planning. Kentucky has recently went from ACT to SAT. Has your teachers talked to you all about that at all?
No.
Okay. Um, so more than likely you'll be taking the SAT as a junior. You are, which English class are you in?
Honors English.
You are in honors, okay, so, one thing that I want you to start thinking about is, because you do get nervous, because sometimes like those same like competition nerves, throw uppy feelings, anxiety can go into taking tests.
Yeah.
I think one good thing would be to start maybe just looking, and your teacher should start doing this with you too, but just maybe like online resources, looking at SAT stuff and just seeing like formatting of the questions, time and being familiar with the test. One thing that I think is just good advice to like anyone in high school, you take it as a junior. And I'm not 100% sure on the SAT because, back in my day it was the ACT, but I think taking it once before you hit junior year, because you can take it over and over, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure I am. I think going into maybe taking it once sophomore year as practice, not worrying about what score you're getting, just going to look at it, see it, watch your timing, would help you a lot and not make you so nervous going into junior year.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more familiar with that exam because it is such a new thing that it's not ACT anymore. I know the ACT had like your basic reading, English, math, science. I don't know how that compares to SAT. I'm sure your high school teachers will be working with you, but it's something I want you to just think about doing maybe next year, is seeing if you can take a practice to ease your nerves junior year.
I could do that.
Yeah. Especially if you're thinking college. Are we still thinking college?
Yes.
Okay. You had told me before somewhere you still thinking that same route, and what was that?
The University of Maryland.
Okay, University of Maryland. And why did you choose that one?
Because they have a really good law school, and I'm not completely positive if that's still what I want to go into, but I know that I want to do something in law, and I want to do something about forensics and psychology and all that kind of criminal stuff.
Okay.
And I just know that they have a really good law school.
Okay, so going that far away, you don't feel any, like, does it make you nervous, or you're just like good with it? Like, do you want to get away?
It makes me nervous just because I won't have my family, but I think I'll be fine with it. Like, I think I'll be fine just leaving in general, but when I think about my family, it makes me sad, but I can always come back.
Right.
Like, it's not like I'm gonna be there forever.
Right, that's very true. So, it's like you've definitely already looked into that, and I think that's great that you're already future planning. I would look at, not saying you can't go there, you're gonna be, like, if you wanna get there, I'm sure you can get there, but like just having backups, just, not being so like dead set on one. And like, if you love archery, like thinking forward to like scholarships, FAFSA, things like that, see if they have an archery program, cause I know around here, we do pretty good scholarships for that, and even maybe there, they may have some too, because, when and you're a while away from that, but like when you fill out your FAFSA and you get, you'll probably get some financial aid help, and then, whatever we score in SAT, that can help you get scholarships, archery on top of it, anything that you can get that like, if you get it all paid for, cause you're gonna have, going that far away, you're for sure gonna have dorm expense, living expense, book expense on top of tuition, but anything, extra money wise you get can help pay for those things, and just make your life easier moving forward. And like you said, you're not dead set on a career, kind of the area of your career, so if you know that's a good school, that's a great path. I do know that actually Eastern, like, if you just get down to the point where you're like, okay, never mind, I wanna be closer to home, Eastern and Richmond, I think, has a really good forensic program too.
Do they?
So,
I haven't heard of
They
it.
do, yeah, I think it's something you could probably look into, just ideas. And you got a few years for that. It's always good when you get into end of sophomore, early junior year, and just make pros and cons list, and just kind of make the best choices for yourself. Um, but it sounds like you got it all kind of planned out.
Yeah.
So going back to, let's talk about friendships a little more. I know you're kind of in a lot of different circles. Has that been okay managing that and archery and everything you have going on?
Yeah. My friends don't really interfere with that. If I have a problem with one of my friends, I'm not gonna relate that to what I'm in. Like, if I have a problem with a friend in FFA, I'm not gonna stop FFA just because I have a problem with that doesn't connect for me. Like, I can still talk to somebody that I have a problem with. That's not any of my worries. And the different friend groups, yeah, that's all fine because I fit in with all of them.
Right.
And yeah.
And I know you, so I know you're making good choices, but like, you talked about how like you do have friends that are like seniors and so on, which is fine. I do want you to always keep in mind, I mean, this year, next year, moving forward, your friendships and the choices you make matter so much at the age that you're at. You're probably gonna get to the point where some of your friends are maybe not making the best choices always. And you may have I don't really know every bit of your friends off, but like, just, I mean, they may be like very perfect, like never, hopefully they're like great role models. But I know high school gets a little tricky. I know that we don't always make the best choices. I didn't make the best choice in high school. No one is perfect going through that, age. Just stay true to yourself and your values. If you ever feel like, you have great parental support, so like I know that like if you like were in a situation where you weren't comfortable, mom's gonna be there and all of it.
Yeah.
So just something to think about because you are hanging out with like that older crowd some, and they're driving and all that. So you're thinking about prom this year too. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Very exciting. So we have archery. We've not talked a lot about FFA. How's FFA going? We compete in that too, don't we?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really good. I have a competition coming up in March where I just have to speak and off my memory like a whole big speech, and that makes me nervous, but I'm really excited. Like, I get more excited about that than nervous.
Well, that's good. So is it different than archery in a way because you're not kidding?
Yeah, like archery, it's about performance. Like with FFA, I just have to speak, and I'm okay with that. Like, I can speak. I'm not the best at it, but it doesn't bother me. Like, I wouldn't care to go out in front of people and just talk, and because I know that I can. And if I mess up, then I mess up.
So it sounds like you're very much more confident in your FFA competitions than in archery.
Yeah.
So, which is great, that's fine. You're very, that's a great, when you're going to apply for, scholarships and things like that, you're gonna have archery, FFA, all these things that makes you, you look very versatile. So I would probably focus, since FFA sounds like it's a great school, sounds like we're doing okay. Like, keep it on with archery because I don't want you to be so nervous going in those competitions. So definitely let's work on, and it may be that like, it's the confidence that you need, so maybe a little extra practice at home just to, because I think the more confident you are, the more the throwing feeling kind of goes away.
Yeah.
So school-wise, grades are okay?
Yeah, last semester they were not very good. Like, they weren't bad, but they weren't great. But I'm definitely more locked in this semester. I've been getting all my work done for once. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be very blunt with you here. If the law is where you're headed, you're gonna have to be locked in. Like, there is no more, I don't do my work, there is no more, like, not stress you out, not saying, you know, you have to be absolutely perfect, cause I know you struggle with that too, but if that's the route you're headed, those schools want very high achievers.
Yeah.
So, going back to that SAT score, it's gonna be, you know, you're gonna have to try to definitely hit those benchmarks and get as high as you can on that. Grades are gonna have to stay, but you can do it, I know that you can.
Yeah.
We are in honors English, do you plan on doing like dual credit, AP?
Yeah, probably. I just wanna, like, I think honors is easy. And if I think it's easy, why would I not do it if it benefits me? And that's just how I'm gonna look at it, because if it benefits me and I don't mind it and I can do it, then I need to.
Right, and you know, going in, you're thinking law. Law is going to be looking for dual credit, AP, honor classes.
Yeah.
What else does Knox Central offer as far as dual credit AP? Do you know
I
a
really
few?
don't
You don't know any? Well, that is one thing I'm gonna tell you to do. You need to go figure out what they have now, because what they have now is not gonna be what I had. I think dual credit was just beginning when I was there, so we only had like English, college algebra. They probably still have those. I very much encourage you trying to do both of those. And anything else that they have, it's gonna be better, you know, moving forward.
Yeah.
So it may be, you know, I know that we're all friends and you get a lot of hangout time, and that's great, cause socialization is so important at your age too, but stay on top of the schoolwork.
Yeah.
Don't get so behind it stresses you out. Because honestly, at the end of the day, the NTI, I know our county only, like, your teachers are supposed to be only doing about 15 minutes worth of work a day, but you have how many classes a day?
7.
So that adds up.
Yeah.
So when we don't do a couple days, we're getting more NTI on top of that, it's piling up. And you don't wanna go back to school and have to stress about NTI when they're throwing, you know, cause at the end of the year, teachers get a little stressed too when we get all the snow, because they feel like they're gonna have to push out the material a little bit faster. So you go back to school and they're pushing out all this material, and you're still kinda behind on the NTI, when you've had 2 weeks off, go get it done before you go back. That would be my advice. You've got time. I know tomorrow's a toss up. If you get tomorrow, like you said, if you sat down, you could probably do it all day. And then when you go back, I assume Monday, it may not be so overwhelming. And I know that some teachers even maybe sometimes give free time for people to kinda get caught up. But don't depend on it,
Yeah.
just in case. Just know going in, if it is finished, that gives you extra time where other people might be stressed out, you'll be kinda good to go.
I definitely wanna try and finish it before we go back to school, but I know if I don't, then I'm still gonna have time. But I just rather would, because like you said, it's gonna make me not stress out as much with everything else that I'm getting.
Do you feel like, just like, besides snow and like other like papers and things like that, do you feel like you're a little bit of a procrastinator, or do you usually do things ahead of time?
I'm definitely a procrastinator. If I don't have to do it right then I won't. And that's bad, but that's just how I am.
When you do that, do you feel really stressed out when it's last minute like that? Like, or is it like, cause some people, like, I'm not saying procrastination is good, but I also don't think it's like always the worst thing ever. I think some people are built for that last minute.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's you, or do you feel like you'd be better off making time to do it so you're not so stressed later?
I think I would be better off making time before, because when I do get like that and I have like a day to finish something really big, I will stress and stress and stress and then end up not doing the best that I could on the work.
Right, okay. So I just wanna know, because some people do work better under pressure. I don't.
Yeah.
I would definitely, if you're the type that you don't feel like you're turning in your best work, but you're waiting, I would try to start making time, because once again, going back to that goal that we have, we've got University of Maryland, we want to be in law, they're gonna be looking for the, you know, top achievers. If procrastinating is preventing that, just set aside some time every night, even if it's like, if you've got a bigger project, 30 minutes before bed, and just, I'll tell you one thing, and I know that this is a major problem through high school, is just like the phones and the TikTok and the brain.
Mhm.
I'm guilty of it, like I teach digital citizenship, you know that. But like I always call it my hypocrite lesson because I'm on my phone so much.
Mhm.
But I know that if I will just like take that phone, like put it in the room, put it on do not disturb, turn it off for a little while and get something done, I feel better after.
Yeah.
I feel better with a phone break.
Yeah, me too.
So that would be one thing that I'd like just to see you do moving forward. Cause you know, you're young, we're just now starting career planning and college planning. But it's not something we can just, well, I know I want to do this, but I'm not gonna work on it till I'm a junior. You
Mhm.
can't do that, especially with, you know, what you're wanting to do.
Yeah.
And you have the ability to go very far with that, but you gotta start working now.
Yeah, and I know that. I feel like whenever I'm on my phone, I can't relax. Even though I think it makes me relax, I don't until I actually get my work done, and then I can be able to relax.
Right.
And I think if I would get my work done faster and actually have that time for myself without having to worry about what I do have to do, I would be a lot more relaxed and at peace in general.
Right.
Which would make me have more time to think about my future and do extra things that I need to do.
Right. Well, one thing you mentioned too, like, I think I get being on the phone as like downtime at night, cause I do the same thing. I think one thing that would benefit, not just you, this is kinda like high schoolers in general, adults in general, I think incorporating a little bit of self-care that's not phone, that's not relaxing with the phone, is important too. Do you do anything like that, like as far as like bubble baths or
I
just
do.
like, you know, like some people read?
Yeah, I usually take my time at night, I'll take a bath, and then, but when I'm in the bath, after like 10 minutes, I'm done and I'll get on my phone and sit in there on my phone for an hour. And usually if I am doing something, it'll be on my phone too.
I think, and once again, I call it my hypocrite lesson, I think that type of feeling with the phone is like an anxiety thing. I think it feels like if we're not on it, I'm relating to you totally here, but like we feel like if we are not on our phone, we're missing something.
Oh, yeah.
Something's gonna happen and we're not gonna know because we're not there. Like,
Yeah.
whether it's just, you know, tea or something bigger or news or something like that.
Yeah.
But kinda going back to what I said earlier, I think sometimes if I will make myself not be on my phone, I feel better. I think one thing that would help you with that, because it helps me, is finding some other hobby that's also self-care. That's not FFA, that's not archery, that's not school, that's not phone. And I know your mom would support you on this 100%. Probably baking, crafting, something of that nature, probably is what I'm thinking. Maybe pick up something like, you know, the little coloring books that are like, I would do that. I would stay away from my phone for like 30 minutes a night, or if that's too much, like twice a week, and just do something that's maybe like a craft or a different hobby that's not media on the phone, on the TV screen, for yourself. I've been doing diamond painting with that, like,
I love diamond painting.
I think you would probably like that, and just, you know, do like a section a night and don't touch your phone. I think it would give your brain a break.
I could do that.
I think it would help your stress a lot.
Yeah, that sounds peaceful. I think I could too if I could.
Some people do puzzles. I don't know. I did. It's kind of thick. And they have like those like acrylic paint markers where it's paint on your head. So something like that I think would be really good for you. Just get the phone away, cause I think what you have with the phone is not self-care. I think it's anxiety.
Probably.
A little bit of like.
Yeah. If I could just actually get away from my phone, then yeah. But that's the hard step.
It is. You might could build it like, let me do this for 10 minutes and then check my phone. And then the next day try 15, and then try 30, and then try an hour. Like,
yeah, I could do that.
I think it would help your stress. Alright, so just recapping a little bit. You've done great at planning. You have future goals, which is great. Not everybody even knows where they're headed as a freshman. Just work towards them. Focus on not procrastinating, getting things done early so we're not stressing later. And let's work on a little bit more self-care that's not phone.
Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.